Hey, all you ghoul kids and creeps out there. This is the first ever episode of the Servo Show, a podcast.
All right, let's shoot this fucker.
Hey, Derek, you know what's always good for shoulder pain?
What?
If you lick my butthole.
Nice fucking model!
So what is it to talk about today? I think we'll start on the subject of your mother. I'm just kidding. I think today I'd like to talk about Danny Elfman. And half of you are going, oh, that's awesome. And everyone else is going, who the fuck is Danny Elfman? Danny Elfman is one of the best musical composers when it comes to score music for movies. He's done a lot of movies that you probably don't even realize, but he has a very distinctive sound that he uses. He's done such great films as Batman, Batman Returns, Mars Attacks, Edward Scissorhands, fucking, what's another one? He's done Big Fish. He's done, like, most of the Tim Burton movies. The only one he really didn't do was Ed Wood, which from what I heard was because him and Tim Burton were having some bullshit going on at the time. Ed Wood's another fucking awesome movie I recommend seeing. It's a Johnny Depp movie you probably never heard of, but it's one of his best movies. I highly recommend seeing it. Landau plays Bela Lugosi, which, in my opinion, he almost plays a better Bela Lugosi than Bela Lugosi. Who fucks Bela Lugosi? He was fucking Dracula. Come on, people. Anyways, what struck my fancy recently about Danny Elfman was his old band, Oingo Boingo, which is a silly-ass name and kind of deterring. When you hear it, you're like, I don't want to listen to that shit. But I'd known about it for a few years, never really gave it much of a listen to, and very recently I'd heard a little bit of it, and I started hearing songs that I'd recognize for movies. I mean, the most obvious one was Weird Science. He did the theme song to that with that band. Did the song Dead Man's Party, which was featured in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, and Iron Man's in that one too. And they also had another song, No One Lives Forever, which was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Not them fucking stupid, dumb ones that come out now. I'm talking about the one that came out fucking forever ago, where Dennis Hopper was the star of the film. That song was featured at the part where two dumbass college kids that have been just driving around Texas doing dumb shit. They messed around with some dude in a pickup truck, and then later they run into the truck, and then the truck's chasing them, and on the back of it, you got Leatherface with his chainsaw going after him, and he's got that dead guy strapped to him, who they call Nubbins, who I think is great. But yeah, I definitely recommend giving Oingo Boingo a listen to, especially if you have any sort of affinity for 80s music. It is very much that. Especially if you like the sound of Danny Elfman's voice. He did the score for Nightmare Before Christmas. And every part that Jack was singing in is Danny Elfman's voice. So, in a lot of Oingo Boingo, you hear Jack Skellington just naturally as you're listening to it. When I first heard Danny Elfman, I was a little kid, and I wanted to go get the Batman soundtrack, but I wanted the one that had all the Prince music on it. Yes, it had all the Prince music on it, but I especially loved Party Man, which, as we all know, is one of the best scenes of Batman 1989, when the Joker and his gang go through the museum and just fuck shit up, and it's awesome. However, when I went to go get the CD, I didn't realize that there was a soundtrack for the music in it, featured by, like, Prince, and then the other music, which is the background music, which is the score, sets the tone for the movie. So I had accidentally bought the Danny Elfman music. So once I got this, I was like, oh, I didn't realize that you could get this. And I just listened to it over and over and over and over again. And then I started just seeing his name popping up in pretty much every movie that I fucking love watching. So, yeah, it's very good music. Some of it's very ambient, very creepy. Now he's done some other soundtracks for shit that's like totally irrelevant to the genre he usually sticks to. I'm pretty sure, I've never seen the movie, but he did the soundtrack to fucking, 50 Shades of Grey. Lame. We did Men in Black 2. I got that on here. Damn. A lot of stuff. Hellboy 2, Terminator Salvation, The Wolfman, Alice in Wonderland. I mean, the man's pretty much always doing something. He's doing a few movies every year. Also did Good Will Hunting, the Justice League soundtrack, Frankenweenie, another Tim Burton movie, which, for those of you that don't know, that cartoon that is out is not the original. The original you can find featured on certain copies of Nightmare Before Christmas as a bonus feature. You can actually watch Frankenweenie, the movie, where Daniel Stern plays the dad and Shelley Duvall plays the mom, I believe. Both great actors you don't really see anymore. Shelley Duvall, of course, was in The Shining, and fucking Daniel Stern was in everything. He was Marv in Home Alone. Also, you got the Darkman soundtrack. That's another fucking awesome movie where Liam Neeson gets well, he only has like a quarter of his face left. It's the only part that's not all fucked up. Everything else gets burned, and he becomes this sort of superhero that can't feel anything, and he knows how to fucking reproduce skin and make masks of his enemies so that he can run around pretending to be them and sabotage them. And yeah, it's a good movie. Just fucking watch it. He did Dick Tracy. I didn't know that. That's cool. That's a good movie. I mean, it's been forever since I've fucking seen it, so I'm pretty sure it sucks now. But yeah, like I said, this is just more or less me talking about someone who I find to be amazing with what he does. I recommend it. Give it a whirl. I mean, you can find all the shit on Spotify. You can probably find it on Prime, too, if you have Amazon. Just fucking look up Oingo Boingo and Danny Elfman. It's two separate entities, same person. That way you can get a little bit of a good idea of what I'm talking about. What else can we talk about? What other shit we got going on these days in the world? I don't fucking know. Oh wait, I gotta read this this ad here. Let me find my papers. Oh, I'm gonna go to a commercial break. Oh, here we go. The Servo Show is brought to you by Uncle Servo's Sugar Snacks. It's pure sugar, and it's really bad for you. But it's fucking delicious. Okay. So, let's talk about fucking Batman for a little bit, I suppose. My opinion is well, I won't say he's the greatest superhero ever, because then I'll get a bunch of fucking nerds hitting me up with their stupid shit about whoever's better than whoever. I don't really give too much of a fuck. Batman's just amazing. Fell in love with it when I was a little kid. 1989 Batman. You got Michael Keaton, fucking Jack Nicholson, just opposing each other. You got two guys that have resting bitch faces, just opposing each other. And to me, it is the greatest Batman movie of all time, because it's what I grew up on. I talk to a lot of people these days that are fucking 10 years younger than me, 5 years younger than me, that swear up and down that Christian Bale is the best Batman. I 100% disagree. Even if we're looking at Batman on a large, grand scale of who is the best Batman of all time, Christian Bale is not in my top fucking 2 or 3 even. My tops is Michael Keaton, Kevin Conroy, and Ben Affleck. Yes, I said fucking Ben Affleck, and I'm aware that he has given up playing Batman from now on. He got to do it twice, which is as much as Michael Keaton. Not as much as Christian Bale, who played it 3 times. But I think Ben Affleck was a very good Bruce Wayne. He was a good Batman too. I'm not the biggest fan of the way they did the Justice League. I'm a very huge DC Universe fan, especially when it comes to Batman and anything Batman related. They hit all the storylines, but if you don't really read the comic books, you get kind of lost in all of it. It seems very slapped together. He played a very good, old, drunk, angry Bruce Wayne, which is my favorite Bruce Wayne. Once Robin gets killed by the Joker, and Batman just kind of loses his shit and just, kind of, I won't say drops everything he believes in, but gives less of a fuck about people's emotions and people's feelings in general. He just handles his business. But he got ripped as fuck for that movie, and I thought he was a good Batman. They just, I don't know. Could have done just a smidge more with it, but everybody's fucking pissy these days because everyone gets up on their high horse about shit. Especially when it comes to stuff that's like that. Like, just enjoy the fucking movie. As soon as I sat down and watched Batman vs. Superman, I was in the movie theater, just me and my wife, and I think it was pretty much just us by ourselves on some random afternoon. And I was hooked as soon as it started. I thought Snyder did an excellent job with it. He did an excellent job with the cinematography and making it just beautiful to watch. You just see all the focus on the things you don't normally focus on is just what makes it more interesting and more poetic, as it were, to watch. But as soon as I watched it, I was just sitting there, just leaning forward the whole time, just watching. Especially when it kicks off at the end of Man of Steel. I mean, Jesus Christ, you got where it's going from Superman and Zod fighting from their perspective to now you're watching it from the ground perspective and seeing why Bruce Wayne hates Superman so much and why he needs to destroy him because Superman doesn't realize how terrible he is at, I don't know, not fucking shit up. It's not really his fault. I mean, he's just trying to help everybody, but at the same time, he's fucking everything up. So Batman's got to come in and handle shit. Batman's always going to kick Superman's ass simply because he was not born with those fucking powers, and he's had to learn everything since he was a kid to figure out how to do what he needs to do. In general, he's just going to fuck shit up. Because he's fucking Batman. He's an actual dude. Of course, we all love superheroes that can climb walls and fucking fly and shit because we all wish we could do that, but Batman's more realistic on the aspect of he's just a dude. He just was trained and took the initiative to learn how to do stuff, and you know what I mean? Fucking took criminology at the community college of Gotham and all that shit. Yeah, right. He's loaded. Probably fucking, I don't know. Just no shit. But yeah. So, I mean, Batman is one of the greatest superheroes of all time, simply based around the fact that he's just a dude. He's a dude that has a lot of money, so he has the ability to do things that most people can't. However, he's using his time to save people. It's almost the equivalent of Tony Stark on the Marvel side. Got a guy that's fucking loaded, but his problem is it's too much vanity. Like, even at the end of the first one, he's like, I'm Iron Man. But he's like, fuck yeah, I'm Iron Man. Who wouldn't want to tell everybody that they're fucking Iron Man? So like, yeah, that's right. That's me. But because of that, it's too much of just that. He always ends up saving everybody, but he's just too involved with himself. He had the tragedy of losing his parents. However, it was much later in his life as opposed to Bruce Wayne, who lost his parents when he was like, somewhere between 8 to 10. What did he do with that information at that point? And all he had left was Alfred, who pretty much ended up just kind of being like, oh, dude, I help you. And, you know, from that point on, Alfred becomes his fucking right-hand man, handles all his business. Alfred's actually a fucking brilliant, well, I wouldn't say he's a brilliant surgeon, but Batman gets fucked up, he knows how to fix him. Handles his shit. So. It's another good thing. Fucking Beetlejuice. That's the thing. I mean, all these things that we're talking about, they all just kind of link one to another. Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice. Who else is at that? Michael Keaton, Alec Baldwin, and Gina Davis, who back today was... She's still good looking, but I don't know. She was a very nice 80s chick. How do I word this? In the 80s, there was a lot of shit that looked really stupid on people. However, some people were able to pull it off, and she... So, that was another just awesome movie, because you got Michael Keaton playing a, quote, freelance bioexorcist, which, to break it down, is he likes to help dead people, I guess, get the living out of their houses. So, you know, he just shows up and fucks shit up, scares people away, and it's funny, because it's just awesome, and he's such a dickhead. And everybody loves a movie with a dead dickhead. Everyone's seen it, though. Fortunately, we can't get too much into Nightmare Before Christmas because that has been so fucking overplayed and ruined over the years. I remember seeing that in the movie theater. I was the only kid in my second grade class that was allowed to go see it. Why, I don't know. It was just a fucking claymation. What's not to, I don't know. Except that fucking guy under the steps, he was creepy, and a lot of people agree with me on that. And everything else was just cool. Music was great. Danny Elfman did all the music in it, so of course it was fucking amazing. And for the time, it was like one of the only things like that. Nowadays, you got everyone with all this technology available. Everyone's got a fucking computer, whether in their pocket or in front of them all the time, so you can look up anything you need to look up. So we're kind of getting smarter in that aspect, because anything you need to know, instead of just going to the library, you just have it in your pocket, you look it up, you're like, hey, how the fuck do I do this? Hey, how the fuck do I do this? And hey, how the fuck do I do this? And as long as you have the means, you can do it. You can make a movie out of your fucking house. You can make a podcast out of your house. You can fucking go to space if you really wanted to. I'm fairly certain there's someone sitting in their basement as we speak trying to come up with a zombie virus. Why not? There's billions of people in the world, and you're fucking telling me that there's not just some dude sitting in his basement devoting all of his time to fuck up the world and just come up with a zombie virus. I think that's true. However, we'll get into that later, next time. Thank you all for listening and listening to my ramblings and make no sense from time to time, but fuck ever. And yeah, next time we'll touch further on the conspiracy zombie idea. So, all you kids out there, stay cool.
It's a crotch party right up in here. Why don't you lick on this big John?
Stop it, Dale! Stop it! Stop it!
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
The Servo Show.
It's a podcast.